The PS5 Pro just can't get a break, can it? A former Blizzard boss says the $700 PS5 Pro is really more like a $350 upgrade because it's aimed at people who trade in their PS5s at places like GameStop. But he says, he finishes it and says, good news, you don't have to buy one. Let's get into it, let's talk about it. I'm Least Okay, hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon, let's go.
Let's go.
Before we get to it, I want to tell you about the links down below in the video description. I put all the links to the coolest tech that I have and that I use on a daily basis, and I think you'll find some really cool stuff that you'd like too. One link in particular is my link or my Amazon list of the best PlayStation accessories you can find, the best headset you can find, better than PlayStation's own, the best racing wheels rig setup for racing if you want to get into racing sims like Gran Turismo 7, the ultimate of all TVs, the LG OLED TV C3, that's the one I've got in my bedroom, review coming soon, as well as the LG 42-inch and 65C4s, PlayStation VR, accessories, stands, you name it, everything you would possibly want, SSDs, it's all on that list and it gets updated regularly. So click the follow button, click the heart button and follow it on a regular basis by bookmarking it. So let's get into the news. And again, guys, I really recommend you check the links down below in the video description. I put a lot of work into it and there's a lot of cool stuff down there. I get a small kickback, doesn't cost you any extra, supports the channel. Let's get into the news. So, let's see. Former Blizzard boss says the $700 PS5 Pro is really more like a $350 upgrade because it's aimed at people who can trade in their PS5s at places like GameStop, or people that just want that little upgrade for $350. Like it's a smartphone, right? Let me know if you agreed. Let me know if you think he's onto something here. So good news is no one has to buy it. So I don't know whether it's kind of like, I don't know if he's insulting it or whether he's like saying, oh, well, you know, you don't have to buy it. Good news is no one has to buy it. It is aimed at people. There are people that are going to buy it. And I don't disagree with them in that respect. I think there is a market for this thing. And I've seen some of you guys in the comments say, hey, Blaze, you know, even though everything's been resoundingly negative about the PS5 Pro, I've seen some of you guys in the comments, and we'll go check them in a second, that have said, hey, Blaze, I think I might get one. Let's take a look at some of those comments right now before we read the article, shall we? So this was the video here. What were they thinking? PS5 Pro reaction. One comment that stuck out to me is one from Glaucoma, who says, I will most likely be getting the Pro. When I do, my son will be getting the PS5 hand-me-down. And I thought that was a really good idea. And it made me think about the wider market for the PS5 Pro. People maybe who already have a PS5 that maybe want another PS5 for their kids' room or the living room. And they're like, well, you know what? We've been sort of wanting to get another PS5 anyway. Why not just upgrade to the PS5 Pro for ours and then hand me down one to my kid or put it in the bedroom, you know? So there is a market for this thing. But he also does go on to say, well, I'm kind of a special case. I have the PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS4 Pro, and the PS5, so I have to get the PS5 Pro, lol. Let me know if any of you guys in the comments are the same, if you're a massive collector of PlayStation consoles. I wonder if he's got the PlayStation Classic Mini. I wonder, the PlayStation 1 one. He doesn't say anything about the PS2 Slim either, or the PS4 Slim. Glaucoma, fill us in. But overall, the comments are majority negative. Jared says, I predict a price adjustment in 3 months once forecasted units are sold are low, and they have to revisit those prices before next year's forecasts. Would not disagree with that at all. $700 for a PS5 Pro, good luck emptying your wallet. Basically, wait for the PS6. Yal and Yal PS5 Pro. I love my PS5 Slim disc version. I ain't thinking about no PS5 Pro no time soon. My graphics look damn good on my PS5 Slim version. It looks like the PS5 Pro already. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's get back to the article and see what the ex-CEO or boss of Activision Blizzard has to say. So former Blizzard Mike Ybarra has some thoughts on the newly revealed PS5 Pro's controversial $700 price tag. Yes, the PS5 Pro is an eye-watering 700 buckaroonies, and for that substantial price you get a much beefier GPU with a capacity for 45% faster rendering and considerably improved ray tracing. There's also a new PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR tech, basically FSR for consoles, right? It basically you could basically re-render the game at a lower resolution, which, as you know, lower resolution means, you know, better performance, all around, higher frame rates, better performance, but they run it at a lower resolution, uses less power on the PS5, etc., etc. But with PSSR, you can basically stretch that image. And, you know, if you'd normally stretch an image, let's say a 720p image, if you would scale up a 720p image to 4K, it would look like crap. But what this technology is doing, PSSR, is it's filling in all the gaps between those pixels that would normally be just blur and stretchiness, and basically sharpening the image to make it look like it's running at 4K, right? So a 720p image could theoretically, if the technology is good enough, PSSR, and make it look like 4K. But there are some downsides to this technology, like input lag, delay, but they really improved that quite a lot. And I'm excited to see what PlayStation's version of FSR upscaling technology is like. They seem to be pretty proud of it, as far as I could see. PSSR, is it the future? Let's get into the news again. So, which provides AI-powered upscaling for a sharper image via machine learning. And like I said, AI is taking off right now. The technology they have, whether it's cloud AI, on-device AI, they're actually putting NPU, neural net processors, inside of everyday devices, like your iPhone, like games consoles, handheld consoles, like the Steam Deck. You know, it's going to be a thing going forward where we're going to be having AI on device. So you don't have to worry about sending your data, your private data, off to the cloud to be processed and held by another data center somewhere, another company stealing your information. It's all done on device now. And obviously with the new PS5 Pro, you're going to get that technology built into the APU, the AMD APU, and it's going to be built in. So it's doing all that tech on device, which is what we all like, right? Because we all know what cloud stuff is like. Cloud gaming, cloud AI. You have to wait. It takes time, and you get delays and input lag, and nobody likes that. So building NPUs into the devices, you know, neural processing that's into devices, on phones, on consoles, it does give you, you know, it opens the world of possibility as far as, you know, performance goes, improving the performance, higher resolutions, better frame rates, and have things look crispy clean. So that's the new tech to bring to the PS5 Pro. I am all for this thing. I'm living and breathing it. I can't wait for it. So back to the news. Let's read the rest of the article. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent here. For a more detailed analysis, check out our write-up on the PS5 versus PS5 Pro specs, and we'll take a look at that in a second in another video. But no matter how you slice it, $700 is a lot of money in the best of times, and even more so in these economically uncertain times. Absolutely right. In a tweet, Ybarra says, there's a way to think of this a little bit differently, arguing that the updated console is a targeted crowd, existing users upgrading, and that Sony's model factors in existing trade-in and resale values to lower the barrier to entry. So they're doing something very similar to what they do with phones, right? They're like, okay, you could trade your iPhone in to Apple, okay, and get like a $700 credit towards the next iPhone. Although granted, this is obviously a lot less than that. But we could see some pretty impressive trade-in values and trade-ins for hardware and consoles. This might save GameStop when you think about it. Will GameStop be saved? We might do a separate video talking about this because it's just ideas just popped into my head. You know, will trade-ins be GameStop's primary business model? I just thought of that when we were talking about this in the video. Will people be trading in their PS5? People like me. Well, I want to trade this in to get a chunk of change back towards the PS5 Pro. It's got me thinking about it now. It's a good idea. Let me know if you're interested in doing that. But right now, I'm really not looking to spend a lot of money. So this thing better pay for like 90% of the PS5 Pro if I trade this thing in. And to GameStop's credit, I think it was GameStop. Yeah, GameStop's credit. I did trade my original Switch in for a Switch OLED for barely any money. So now I'm thinking about it. Damn. Okay. This could be an option. So the model is existing PS5 owners can trade in their PS5s at places like GameStop for $350 in credit today. Apply that to the $699 price point, and now the upgrade cost is $350, which, to be honest, not a lot of people have nowadays. $350 is a lot of money still. I mean, I would look, you know, honestly, they should have priced this below $700. Come on, trade in my PS5 disc model, maybe give me a, you know, $400 credit, right? Bring, you know, have it be like a $200 upgrade, $350 upgrade. It's a little bit much for what they're offering, if you ask me. Let me know if you disagree. But Ybarra said, well, still not easy, much easier to stomach for some. That is true. This is a fundamental model they use. It won't fit for everyone, but it's all part of the larger go-to-market plan. It's worth noting that adjusted for inflation, the PS5 Pro is less expensive than the original PS3 when it was released for $600 in 2006. Yeah, the PS3 sold, like, that was crazy that the PS3 sold for $600 in 2006. But when you think about it, Sony was like a powerhouse back then. They actually designed the architecture for the PS3 back in the day. If you remember back then, they were talking about like Iran and Russia, or like a lot of these, you know, North Korea using PlayStation 3s for like nuclear weapons and like, you know, hacking the world, like, you know, hacking banks and stuff, because it was so powerful, it was so new, it was like a new architecture that no one had seen before. And honestly, it's only now we're starting to see people emulate that, because the CPU in the PS3 was just nuts. absolutely nuts. I mean, I could go on a tangent about how unique the PS3's APU and CPU was at the time. It was just completely groundbreaking, and there was a lot of fears around the world about people maybe buying like 1,000 of them and, you know, connecting them up to make some sort of massive supercomputer. It was absolutely nuts. Does anyone remember that folding at home thing where like you could use your PS3 to help solve like medical problems and stuff like that? That was super cool. The PS3 was like in a league of its own. Obviously, back then, Sony had a lot more resources and put a lot more money into developing that sort of hardware and that sort of tech. They had to design their own CPU and GPU because no one else would for them, right? No one else would make a CPU that would fit in a console form factor like the PS3, whereas now they just buy them in bulk from AMD and NVIDIA, right? So they could justify back then for the work that they put into the PS3. PS3 was the beast. But nowadays, they're like, it's almost as if they're using off-the-shelf parts that have been slightly customized. So I don't know if they can justify $699 today. Anyhow, I'm going on a rant again, my bad. So other than that one example though, it's the most expensive PlayStation ever when adjusted for inflation. In a response to his original tweet, Ybarra rightly pointed out that no one has to buy the new console and offered that for folks who can afford the luxury, it's nice to see you have the fastest and most powerful console on the market. That's true. A lot of people just get off on, you know, telling their friends, do you have the PS5 Pro? I do. Oh, you don't? Oh, that sucks. I have the PS5 Pro. It's the latest, greatest console, most powerful console on the market right now. Just look at the iPhone, right? Everyone who upgrades to their iPhone every year, they're like, you know, there's a sort of bragging right to that, saying, oh, I've got the new iPhone 16. It's got AI, it's got AI upscaling. Like, people love that. People love to brag. People love to have the latest and greatest thing. I know the economy is doing bad. Some people are doing better than others, clearly. But yeah, there's people are going to buy the PS5 Pro, whether we like it or not. We might be able, maybe we're all just salty because we don't have $700 to throw at it right now. But for those that maybe have $350, trade-in deals. Anyhow, sorry. I'm just laughing at this whole situation. But despite this reading out of touch, as you'd expect from any CEO, it's all technically true. My local GameStop in Phoenix, Arizona is offering up to $385 for the vanilla PS5 with the disc drive. Okay, $385. eBay listings hover over about $350, so technically, yeah, if we did trade in our PS5 with disc, we'd get more money back towards the PS5 Pro than we would sell it on eBay. And remember, eBay, you've got eBay selling fees, final value fees, you've got the shipping fees, you've got taxes you're gonna have to pay on that. It's making a compelling thing. Sony's probably got like a bunch of people in suits, you know, debating this stuff. But yeah, they've probably got like a people in that boardroom, like with charts and stuff, saying, what is people's price point? If they traded a PS5 standard edition from the original vanilla one, like how much would they be willing to spend to upgrade, to trade in? Even at a 350 trade-in point, I think, for what the PS5 Pro can do, I don't know. So the writer of this article on Games Radar basically says if he traded in his PS5 today for a PS5 Pro, he'd pay around $315 for the upgrade. Although Ybarra's analysis ignores the fact that the PS5 Pro doesn't include a disc drive. That is very true, which is $80. $80 if when sold separately. And have you seen my video from yesterday where we talked about people scalping the disc drive because the disc drive for the Slim is actually compatible with the PS5 Pro? Made me laugh. Scalpers. Jeez, I hope they get burnt. And not forgetting the vertical stand, that's $30 on top of that. So we're looking at, I mean, it just gets more crazy to me, this PS5 Pro business, is because it's going to be $700 plus tax. It's going to be the disc drive, which a lot of people are going to have or want, $80. Stand, $30. I mean, what are we up to? $700 plus 80, 780, 30, 810. I'm not good at maths. 810 plus tax. That's a big ask. That's a lot for a console, right? For a console that's marginally better than the PS5. Of course, the crux of this argument assumes that those trade values will hold and ignores the market segment, no matter how small. Those trade values will hold and ignores the market segment, no matter how small, that doesn't already have a PS5. It just seems like a lot of words to essentially say, yeah, it's expensive, but it's less expensive if you have an object of value to offset the cost. For many, existing PS5 is fine and people should be happy, Ybarra concluded. It's kind of like the S. It's fine, some people don't need the X, it's hard for developers to support all these different hardware capabilities, but it is what it is. Sony have to make money. Japanese economy's in the crapper right now. I mean, just read the news. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's hitting Sony financially too. But anyways, either way, pre-orders go live on September 26th and the console launches on November 7th, again for $700, £700 and 800 euros, which is a steep price. Again, we're going to be talking about the PS5 Pro a lot more, and I'm going to be rambling about it. We're going to be talking about people's opinions on it in the build up to the launch, and I will be restocking. I will be launching a PS5 restock stream very soon, so stay tuned to that. The PS5 restock stream's coming back, ladies and gents, and we're going to have a notepad up there so you guys can update for stock drops. We're going to have pages refreshing. I don't know if you've locked down a script yet that checks the websites, you know, for stocks every other second, primarily because after what happened last time, Target, Best Buy, Walmart have all implemented different, you know, restocking strategies to avoid basically everyone crippling their website at any time of day, right? Because if you remember from the PS5 restock days, you know, I actually ran a big PS5 restock stream. We'd get a hint as to what day it would restock. We got a hint as to what time it would restock based off of employees' information that would either text us in, message me, email me, I should say, and we'd set up a time. We'd be like, okay, it would be October 25th at 7 in the morning it would go live, or 3 in the morning it would go live, and then hundreds of thousands of people would descend on Target's websites, destroy Target's website, and in turn probably losing Target, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars across the country. They don't want to do that anymore, and they basically mitigated for that last time. So I don't think we're going to be getting nationwide restocks anymore like we did with the PS5, sadly. But what we will do on this new restock stream, they might. But what we will do in this new restock stream is we'll put up a notepad, we'll give you the latest tips, we'll still do the refreshing pages just in case, and yeah, and we'll just rebuild this community about the PS5 Pro and get excited about it. You know, we're not all happy about the price of the PS5 Pro, but I think we could all agree that the PS5 Pro is pretty cool. Price aside, the fact that it's not got a disc drive aside, I'm excited to see what the PS5 Pro is all about. I hope you are too. You know, we could be mad, upset, disappointed at Sony, all we want. But at the end of the day, it's a new console. It's going to be the best place to play your PlayStation games on, and people will buy it. And yeah, trade-ins might make it easier. Anyways, guys, I'm Blaze2K. Like, subscribe, click the bell icon. And again, sorry for this rambly video. I have strong feelings about the PS5, as you could probably tell. Go check out our list of the best PlayStation accessories down below. I'll put the link at the top of the video description down below. And just scroll through my video description and find a bunch of other cool things. I've got this really cool coffee that I'm taking. It's like Adderall. You can pick it up. It's such a good deal as well if you use my link down below. It's called Everyday Dose. It makes you super productive and super really great. Like you've had a couple of cups of coffee, but there's no crash. It's fantastic. Go check the links down below. I'll do a video on that separately as well. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. God bless you. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm Blaze2K. Like, subscribe, click the bell icon. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.